This is a video from Math 386, and I want to go over the answers to assignment 5. And with that, let's take a look at problem 1. Problem 1, we have f of x is equal to 5 minus 2x. And I want to find the derivative. So I have to label this f prime of x. The derivative of 5 is 0. The derivative of x is 1, and so we get 0 minus 2 times 1, which is equal to negative 2. Number 2. So we have g of t is equal to 3t minus 5t squared. So g prime of t, right, the derivative, is 3 times the derivative of t, which is 1, minus 5 times 2t. And so the correct answer for number 2 is 3 minus 10t. Number 3. Suppose g of x is equal to negative 3e to the x. G prime of x is negative 3 times, and remember the derivative of e to the x is e to the x. And so this is negative 3e to the x. Number 4. Suppose v of t is 1.8 t to the negative 3. And I want the derivative of v of t. So I'm going to call that v prime of t. That's 1.8 times the derivative of t to the negative 3, which is negative 3t raised to the negative 4. Okay? Now, I'm old school, so 1.8 times 3, right? 8 times 3 is 24. Write down the 4, carry the 2. And 3 times 1 plus 2 is 5. So it's 5.4. So this is negative 5.4 t raised to the negative 4. And let's take a look at number 5. So f of x is x to the 3 halves plus x raised to the negative 3. F prime of x. This is going to be 3 halves x to the 1 half. That's what 3 halves minus 1 is. Plus, and then the derivative of x to the negative 3 is negative 3x to the negative 4. So this is 3 halves x to the 1 half minus 3x to the negative 4. Let's take a look at number 6. So f of x is equal to 4x plus the square root of x, and this can be written as 4x plus x to the 1 half power. Okay, now I'm ready to take the derivative. So f prime of x, right, is 4 times the derivative of x, which is 1, plus 1 half x to the negative a half, which is equal to 4 plus 1 over 2x to the 1 half. Okay. Now, I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to say, therefore, f prime of x is 4x to the 1 half over x to the 1 half plus 1 over 2x to the 1 half, right? And we have to do one more step because Notice how the second term has a denominator that contains 2. So what I need to do is say that this is 2 times 4x to the 1/2, right? Divided by 2x to the 1/2 plus 1 over 2x to the 1/2. So the correct answer here is f prime of x. If I write this as a single fraction, I get 8x to the 1/2 plus 1 divided by 2x to the 1/2. Now granted, I could have done that over here. The lowest common denominator is 2x to the 1/2. So I could have done it sooner, but that's okay. And that was number 6. Number 7. So f of t is t cubed plus e cubed. F prime of t is 3t squared plus, be very careful here, it's deceptive, because the derivative of e is 0, because e is constant. But if e is constant, e cubed is constant. And the derivative of e cubed is 0. So remember, e cubed is constant. Okay? That's a constant term. And so correct answer for number 7 is f prime of t is 3t squared. Number 8. So r of z is z to the negative 9 minus z to the 1/2. So r prime of z is negative 9z raised to the negative 10 minus 1/2 z to the negative 1/2, right? So this is okay to have negative exponents, and that's because the original function has a term that contains a negative exponent. So this would be okay on an exam. But if we look at the difference here, notice how the original function on number 6 has no negative exponents. So what you don't want is your derivative to have a negative exponent, if that makes sense. So we have to get rid of negative exponents for number 6. But because the original function in number 8 has a negative exponent, then I would be okay with a negative exponent in the answer for the derivative. Okay, let's take a look at 9. On number 9, we have f of x is 1 divided by x cubed plus 3 over x raised to the 5th. But that's x to the negative 3 plus 3x to the negative 5. So I want f prime of x, but that's negative 3x to the negative 4 plus 3 times negative 5x raised to the negative 6. But that's negative 3 over x raised to the 4th minus 15 over x to the 6. Remember, 3 times negative 5 is negative 15. Now, if we want to get a common denominator, this would be a good one. So I'm going to multiply the first term in the numerator and denominator by x squared. I'll do that in red. And so f prime of x is negative 3x squared over x to the 6th minus 15 over x to the 6th. And so, therefore, f prime of x is negative 3x squared minus 15 divided by x to the 6. And That's how we do 9. Let's take a look at 10. On number 10, we have v of w is the square root of 2 times w plus the square root of 3. So if I take the derivative, right, I get square root of 2 times 1 plus 0, which is the square root of 2. And we're done. Let's take a look at 11. So suppose I had f of x equals square root of x minus 2e to the x plus 5 cosine x minus 3 sine of x. And I want f prime of x. And notice I'm labeling it the derivative the entire time, right? And so now remember, square root of x is x to the 1/2. So I'm just going to write that over there. So when I take the derivative, I get 1/2 x to the negative 1/2 for the first term, minus 2e to the x, right? The derivative of e to the x is e to the x, plus 5 times the derivative of cosine x, which is negative sine of x. And I'll put that in red. Then I'm going to go minus 3 times the derivative of sine x, which happens to be cosine x. So if I simplify, I get 1 over 2x to the 1/2 minus 2e to the x minus 5 sine of x minus 3 cosine x. And that's how we do problem number 11. Let's take a look at problem 12. On problem 12, we had f of x equals 1 plus 25x squared divided by 5x raised to the second. But this is 1 plus 25x squared divided by 5 squared x squared. 5 squared is 25. So this is 1 plus 25x squared divided by 25x squared. And so therefore, f of x is equal to, I'm going to split the fraction. So I get 1 over 25x squared plus 25x squared over 25x squared, right? And if I go a little tiny bit further, I get 1 over 25x raised to the negative 2 plus 1. Okay, so notice it took a little bit of work to simplify this to a point where we could take the derivative. Okay, we don't have a lot of machinery right now. And notice I call it f prime of x. Okay, and so this is 1 over 25 times negative 2x to the negative 3, right? That's the derivative of x to the negative 2. And then the derivative of any constant is 0. So this is negative 2 divided by 25x raised to the third power, right? Because remember, x to the negative 3 is 1 over x cubed. Here, let me back up one step. Let's back up. So are we in agreement that this is negative 2 over 25x to the negative 3? And what I want to do is I want to move that x to the negative 3 up in front. And so what I can say is f prime of x is negative 2x to the third divided by 25. And that's how we do problem number 12. Let's take a look at 13. So f of x is 1 plus x to the negative 1 squared, which is 1 plus x to the negative 1 times 1 plus x to the negative 1. And so if I multiply that out, I get 1 plus x to the negative 1 plus x to the negative 1 plus x to the negative 2, which is 1 plus 2x to the negative 1 plus x to the negative 2. Now I can take the derivative. So it takes a little bit of work, okay? And so I'm going to get 2 times, the derivative of 1 is 0. So it's 2 times negative 1x raised to the negative 2. Because negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. Then I'm going to go minus 2x to the negative 3. So this is negative 2 times 1 over x squared minus 2 times 1 over x cubed. And so this is negative 2 over x squared minus 2 over x cubed. Now, if we want a common denominator here, I'm going to multiply the first term in the numerator and denominator by x. I'm going to draw a line over here, and I'm going to say f prime of x is negative 2x over x cubed minus 2 over x cubed. And so, therefore, f prime of x is negative 2x minus 2 divided by x cubed. And it's a really nice way to express the derivative. And that's how we do number 13. Let's take a look at 14. On number 14, we have f of x equals e to the x plus 1 plus 1.5x cubed. Now, make sure you're convinced of this, right? I'm going to use properties of exponents to break up the first term. So this is e to the x times e to the first plus 1.5x cubed. Now I can take the derivative. F prime of x. Now the e is going to go along for the ride, okay? And then the derivative of e to the x is just e to the x, right? And then I'm going to go plus 1.5. Now, what's the derivative of x cubed, right? The constant just floats along. And the derivative of x cubed is 3x squared. So if I simplify, let me label this f prime of x, I get e to the x plus 1 plus 4.5 x squared. And that's how we do 14. Let's take a look at 15. S of r is 4 pi r squared. So when I take the derivative, I get 4 pi times 2r, because that's the derivative of r squared, which is 8 pi times r. And then lastly, for this page, on number 16, we get the following. So we get p of x is 2x squared minus x plus 4 divided by square root of x, which is 2x squared divided by, if you don't mind, I'm going to call that x to the 1/2, minus x to the first over x to the half, plus 4 over x to the 1/2. So when we see a fraction like that, we want to think split it up. And so therefore, P of x is 2x to the 3 halves minus x to the 1 half plus 4x to the negative a half. And so if I want the derivative, right, I'm going to get 2 times 3 halves x to the 1 half minus 1 half x to the negative a half plus 4. And then I'm going to go times the derivative of x to the negative a half, which is negative 1 half x to the negative 3 halves. So P prime of x equals, now 2 times 3 halves is 3. So we get 3x to the 1 half, right? Then I'm going to go minus 1 over 2x to the 1 half. Then I'm going to go minus 2 over x to the 3 halves. Now, a really, really good exercise is, can you write P prime of x as a single fraction? So can you go from here and can you write the derivative as a single fraction? That's a good exercise. And that'll be a good stopping point for this video. We did all 16 derivatives on the first page of assignment 5. And in the next video, I'll work on doing some of the optimization problems. So, okay. All right. Thank you.